My dear brothers and sisters, today's gospel passage directly follows of the previous Sunday's gospel passage, where Jesus worked the miracle of the multiplication of the loaves and fish. And after they had dispersed the crowd, Jesus goes down at the lake to the seaside, and then he tells the apostles, take the boat and go to the other side of the lake. Now Jesus knew that the condition was not favorable. It was a stormy evening, the winds were blowing, and he knew that he would find it difficult, the apostles find it difficult to row the boat. But he sent them because he wanted to use this to strengthen their faith and trust in him. Jesus intended to reach out to them in the right moment. And therefore he works two miracles: the walking on the water and the calming of the storm. And after he sends the apostles away, Jesus goes to a lonely place and pray in silence to his Father. And Jesus said that Jesus prayed the entire night, and it was the fourth watch of the night that Jesus came down to the seaside. You have to understand that the fourth watch in the night is a time sometimes between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the morning, early morning. And we realize there's a time when most of the accidents take place because drivers doze off at that time. People doing night duty normally tend to sleep at that time, they feel sleepy. And therefore you have to understand the conditions of the apostles. They were rowing their full night, they could not move, they could not reach the other side, so they were hungry, they were tired, they were exhausted, they were frustrated. And in this moment of frustration, they were tired and helpless. They thought a ghost was coming towards them, and they said, it is a ghost. And Jesus said, it's not a ghost, take courage, it is I, do not be afraid. And you know Peter, the daring of the apostles, said, Lord, if it is you, bid me come to you. And Jesus says, come. And as long as Peter fixes his eyes on Jesus, he walks on the water. But the moment he sees the strong winds around him, Peter begins to sink. And that moment he tells Jesus, Lord, save me, Lord, help me. And Jesus stretches out his hand and says, you man of little faith, why do you doubt? And when they get into the boat, the winds ceased and they were astonished. And they worshipped Jesus and said, truly you are the Son of God. Now Jesus uses these two miracles, walking on the water and calming of the sea, to prepare the apostles for the future. Because he knew very soon they will be also preaching around, they'll be facing difficult moments, times of crisis. And therefore he teaches them how to put their faith and trust in him. Today, my dear brothers and sisters, in our daily lives, we also face a lot of storms. We face a lot of difficulties, anxieties, tensions. And at such moments, we tend to lose our balance. Such moments, we tend to lose our focus in Jesus. And that's where all the trouble starts. We begin to sink. And that is why we need to realize the importance of prayer, daily prayer. It is a time for us, during time of prayer, to refocus ourselves in Jesus. But the question is, do we pray every day? So sometimes when I sit for confessions, people pour out a lot of their problems, anxieties, the stormy moments of life. It's quite natural because we're all human beings. We are bound to face this because Jesus says we have to carry our own crosses. But when I ask the next question, do you pray every day? And very often the answer is we have no time to pray. We have no time. We are all busy. We have no time to pray. And if we have no time to pray, how do we expect Jesus to help us in our difficult moments of life? How do we expect Jesus to help us? And therefore, what are we doing? Instead of focusing on Jesus in time of prayer. We are focusing more on our problems, our anxieties, tensions. We try to solve in our own way, but it's not possible sometimes. We need the divine intervention. We need Jesus in our lives to help us. And therefore, we need to fix our eyes and focus in Jesus with faith and trust, putting forth all our anxieties and tensions, hoping that He will help us. So in the moments of crisis, can we turn to Jesus? Can we say, Lord, like Peter, Lord, help me, I am sinking. We all have this time when we sink in our lives. But I'm sure if we put our faith and trust in Jesus, Jesus will say, come, I will reach out to you. I'll stretch out my hand to you, and I will going to help you. On one condition, that you put your faith and trust in me in such difficult moments of your life. And therefore, the gospel passage teaches us gives us a very powerful message. Very powerful message. Jesus says two statements. To the apostles, He says, do not take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid. And to the apostles, He says, O man of little faith, why do you doubt? In our moments of crisis, do we doubt in Jesus? Are we afraid during our difficult moments to reach out to Jesus? At such moments, Jesus gives us an assurance. He wants to make us sure that in our lives, Jesus is present in my life, and only Jesus can transform my life today. But for that, we need time to pray. And therefore, here there are parents around, there are youngsters around, there are religious around. Let us make a commitment that from today onwards, we pray every day without any excuses. Because it is in prayer that we refocus our eyes in Jesus. It is in prayer that we put forth all our crisis moments in our life. And it is prayer that Jesus gives us the strength to face the little crosses that we have to bear every day in our life. So let us make this commitment, that a resolve to strengthen our faith and trust in God, knowing that God is always going to help us.